Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be playing with the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson Conspiracy Palette. I got this in the mail yesterday and I wanted to try to do a video for you guys as soon as I got it. It is currently 12:30 in the morning, so technically it's the day that this video is being released, and I am just now sitting down to do a video with this palette, so if I look tired, I am so sorry. It has been a very long day, but I do want to go ahead and do this video for you. So what I think I want to do is I want to do a 2-look with 1 palette video like I did with the Norvina palette. However, with this video, I'm only going to be showing you the eye looks on camera. I'm going to do the face makeup off camera because I do want the sole focus of this video to be on the palette itself. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the palette really quick, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into the video. It came in this really nice unit carton where you just slide the palette out just like this, and then you pull it out and you've got the palette right here. You flip it over, and this is what the front of the palette looks like. You have this nice raised area where it says SD, obviously for Shane Dawson's initials. And then when you hold the palette this way, it's about the same size as Blue Blood and Blood Sugar. You open it up. Obviously, like on the back as well, you've got that it is a eyeshadow and pressed pigment palette. Pressed pigments mean that they are not technically FDA approved. However, it's kind of like up to you if you're going to use it or not. I have no problem with using it, so I am going to go ahead and play with it. And then you've also got Jeffree Star's Instagram and YouTube channel on the back, as well as his website. This is going to be a cruelty-free palette, and it does have a 12-month lifespan. And then over here you've got Jeffree Star's logo, and then Shane Dawson's. So then up on the front you do have the little clasps as with the other 2 palettes. You open it up and you have a nice size mirror inside. Mine still has the plastic on it because I just took this out of the box. And then these are the shades in the palette. So you see that the first row is going to be more neutral shades, the second is going to be your pop of color, and then the third are going to be your deeper shades. And then you got like this really pretty blue and this really pretty silver color. So I think what I want to do is I want to do 2 colorful looks. So I'm going to do 1 on each eye, and then I'm going to walk you guys through how I did the looks as well, while explaining to you how the palette works. Is it good? Is it bad? Is there a lot of fallout? I don't necessarily care too much about fallout, so that's not really a big deal to me. However, I know some people do have issues with fallout. So I'm going to go ahead and do my brows and prime my lids off camera, and I'll be right back, and we're going to get started with look number 1. Alright guys, so I now have my eyebrows done and my eyes are primed, and I went ahead and taped off this side of my eye. So I think I have an idea of what 2 looks I want to do. Hopefully they turn out the way that I want them to. And before I even get started with doing this look, let me go ahead and explain to you guys how difficult ordering this palette was. So I was in Virginia when the palette had launched, and my friend and I were at Five Below, and we were just kind of walking around. We both had alarms set on our phone for about 5 to 10 minutes before the launch, so that way we could get our phones ready and everything, and make sure we were connected to internet. Well, so it got 2 minutes till, so we went outside and we were on the websites and we were waiting and ready and everything, and literally a minute before the launch, the website crashed. So the palette had launched on 3 different websites that I'm aware of. It had launched on Jeffree Star's website, Beautylish, and Beauty Bay. We had all 3 browsers open on our phone the entire time, and they were just consecutively crashing, one after the other, after the other, after the other. So ordering this palette was a huge pain in the ass. I was finally able to order it about 24 minutes after launch, and that was after consecutively having the different web browsers open and keep checking each one, and I would put it in my cart and then it'd boot me out, and just going back and forth. My friend Lauren wasn't able to order it until about like 3.5, 4 hours after it had launched, which was shocking that it was even available then, but it was probably because of the fact that it kept, like, the website kept crashing. However, I'm really glad that I got the palette. I think it's totally worth it so far. Hopefully the colors perform really well, so it definitely makes it worth it. I've never had a problem with any of Jeffree Star's eyeshadow palettes, so I don't expect to have any problem with this one. I am really excited to play with it and kind of see, you know, like how it looks, how it blends, and everything else. So for the first look, I think the first shade that I want to go into is going to be Food Videos. So I'm going to go in with this one right here. And as usual, guys, I am going to post all of the products that I used in the comment section below. Just like I said, during the video itself, I'm not going to talk about like any other products that I've used, just this. So I'm going to, except for brushes, of course, so that way you guys know. But I'm going in with the Morphe M507, which is just this little tapered brush. And I'm going to go right into Food Videos. And I'm gonna go in with a light hand at first and only put about that much on the brush because I want to see how it pays off with just going with a little bit versus having to go with a lot. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit more so that way you can see a little bit more up close. All right, and I'll try to like stay down this level so that hopefully it doesn't like mess anything up. But I'm just gonna go in with it and I'm gonna take this and put it right here on the inner corner area. So going in with just a little bit that is kind of light, however there is still pretty good color on it, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit more pressure. And like I said, I literally had just like tapped it very lightly. You can see there's a lot more pigment on the brush now. There we go. There's a lot more pigment on the brush now, so I almost guarantee that I'm gonna get a better payoff. So I'm just gonna keep going in and tapping it right there. Yeah, that looks a lot better now. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep going in like this, and I only want to bring it about a third of the way in for right this second. So I'm just gonna keep going in and building that up a little bit more to where it's nice and vibrant. And I am gonna bring this up almost to the brow bone, but not completely. So I'm just going in with like circular motions right this second. And I'm not having any patching. I don't have any fallout or anything like that. There's a little bit of kickback in the pan. That's totally fine. Not something that really bugs me. I think it performs the exact same no matter what. So I'm just gonna build that up a little bit more. All right, so now I've got the shade like that. So now I want to go into my darkest shade that I'm gonna be using for this one, which is going to be Flamin' Hot, which is this red shade at the very end. I'm gonna go in with the same brush, which is still the Morphe M507. Now, I didn't have to tap as much into this pan, and I still got really good payoff with it. So now this one, I'm only focusing it on the outer corner, and I'm gonna bring it into about the halfway mark. And I'm just going to press it, which that is really good payoff for just a couple of taps. And now I'm still just going in with little circular motions and blending it out. So now I'm gonna take the brush with no extra pigment and I'm just gonna start to join those two shades in the center. I am gonna go in with a third shade in between them, but I just wanna get an initial blend going. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more of Food Videos and go right over this connecting line. I think so far that they blend really well together. I'm having absolutely no problem with blending. It's not patching in any areas or anything like that. The payoff or the pigment and everything in it is really vibrant. So I'm just gonna mix Food Vibes and Flaming Hot on my brush, tap it off just a little bit because I don't want too much there, and then I'm just gonna keep going right in the center and blending it. Now I'm gonna take just a little bit of Cheese Dust, which is this orange shade right here, and I'm going still in with the Morphe M507, and I'm going to tap it onto my brush and go right over top this blended area. I think that looks really, really nice together. I'm just gonna kind of bring it down just a little bit to connect this area. And it's okay if you get it on the lid because we're about to cover that up with some concealer anyways. So I'm just gonna keep blending that area right there. And then I wanna make that outer corner just a little bit darker, so I'm going back into Flamin' Hot and I'm just going to press right over it. Now what I wanna do is I wanna go ahead and cut my crease. Now you can see that I did the crease line a lot higher than what my actual crease is because I have hooded eyes. So I want to be able to actually see the shadows that I put on my lid space itself. So to cut the crease, I'm going in with my Colourpop, well, I mean, whatever. I'm going with my Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 00, which it's the same one that I use every time I cut my crease. It's a really good concealer. And I'm going to go in with, which brush? No, I don't want that one. I'm just going to use the same brush that I use to carve out my brows. So it's just this painter's brush that I took from my husband's paint set. And just got it on the back of my hand. So now I'm just going to go in, put it right on the tip of the brush to start, and go ahead and carve out my crease. So I've got the initial line drawn. Now I'm just gonna go in and actually fill in the lid. Okay, so what I wanna do now is I wanna go in with a flat packer brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Ranch, which is this shimmery white shade up top. And I am going to spray my brush with some setting spray just so it is wet, so I get more of a metallic-y finish. Go into the shade. It's really pretty. Holy smokes. And now I tapped out my crease area, so I'm just going to start tapping this, and I'm going to focus it up top near the actual crease line itself instead of down at the bottom. That's a really pretty shade. I'm going to keep going into that shade and just go all the way across the lid. Also, I'm just packing and pressing it on. I'm not blending it or anything. Okay, so my camera had shut off for a second, but all I did was I took some white concealer, the same one that I used to carve my crease, and I made a section for some winged liner. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a brush just like this, and I'm gonna use the same 3 colors that I did up top on the bottom, but I'm gonna do it backwards. So first I'm gonna go into the shade Flamin' Hot, and I'm just going to tap it onto the top of the brush and then get a little bit of it on the side. And we're just gonna start in the inner corner, and we're gonna start packing it to create kind of a liner. Okay. So I just want to get the baseline started for now. So now I'm going to take the same brush, I'm just gonna wipe off the red pigment, and I'm gonna go into the shade Cheese Dust. Well, no, now I'm gonna go into Food Videos. I'm going to coat the brush in that. And then I'm gonna start on this outer corner. Now for the outer corner, you can see that I brought the wing out farther than the eyeshadow look itself. And I wanna keep it nice and sharp. I'm just gonna, again, with a tapping motion, and press it down. Now I'm gonna leave a little bit of the yellow pigment on there, and I'm gonna go into the shade Cheese Dust, which is that same orange shade, and I'm gonna put it right in between the two. So now we've got that kind of ombre effect going out. I'm just gonna go in with each of the shades again on that wing liner, just to kind of deepen them up a little bit. And make them a little bit more vibrant. They are still really vibrant, but with doing the white underneath, it made them lose a little bit of the vibrancy. So now I'm gonna go in and just pat this over. And now going back in with Food Videos. So that's what that eye looks like right this second. I really like how those colors work together. So the only other thing that I'm going to do for this side right this second is I'm going to tightline my upper waterline with some black liquid liner. Just that way when I go in and do my lashes, it blends in nicely and it doesn't look off. So I'm going to quickly tightline, and then we're going to move over to the other eye. Okay, so to go ahead and get started on this side, we're going to start with our darkest shade first. So we're gonna go into the shade Not a Fact, which is this really deep, like burgundy, purpley plum shade. And we're just gonna go into the Moda Pro smudger brush, which looks like this. And I wanna keep the color in one precise area for right this second. So I'm gonna go in very carefully with it. I am gonna go ahead and coat both sides of the tip of the brush like this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it like that, and then we're gonna go ahead and start to define the crease line. That's a really pretty shade. I like how dark this is, and the fact that like sometimes when you go in with shades like this, they're a lot lighter when you actually apply them versus how they look in pan. This one's still really dark and it looks amazing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep pressing it on, because I'm not blending it out yet at all. I just want to go in and now I'm still going in with that shade, but I'm very lightly starting to blend it, so that way it's not just like one long harsh line. So I'm going in very short windshield wiper motions. Now that we have that initial line laid down, I want to go in with a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M506, and we're going to go into the shade Pigment, which is this pink one right here. So we're just going to take that shade, we're going to put it on the brush. There is a little bit more kickback in that shade than some of the other ones so far, and we're just going to, in very small circular motions, we're going to start to blend above Not a Fact and bring it up towards the brow bone without being in the brow bone. So we're going to start right here on the inner corner, and you'll probably, doing this, you'll probably start to like blend out Not a Fact. It's okay, you can just go back in with the initial brush and deepen that color again. This is a really pretty pink though. So if you did or did not get this collection, what pieces are you interested in, or what pieces are you the most excited for? I think I definitely want both of the palettes. I mean, like, I have this one obviously, but like I want the mini controversy. I want the entire lip kit really badly too. I feel like it definitely ties in everything. And like, so I was watching Shane back when he first started YouTube. So I feel like this palette is very him, and I love it. And I think that it's really nice at like incorporating part of like who he used to be versus who he is now. And I just, all in all, I think that this palette was phenomenally executed. I'm having absolutely no problem with blending out any of the shadows. Everything is really pigmented. There's phenomenal payoff. I'm not really having any kickback in the pan other than for like pigment or pigment and Flaming Hot are the only shades that I'm having any form of kickback in. Again, not something that I mind. And I'm gonna go back in and I'm going to carve this out right underneath it. Now for this side of the look, I want to use as many shades as I can without it being too overbearing. I know 2 shades that I want to go into for this look though. So I'm just going to go ahead and carve that out really quick. I'm hoping that I can get this shadow to work the way that I want it to. So I'm going to go into the shade Illuminati right here. And I'm going in with a angled liner brush like this. And I'm going to pack the shade onto the tip of the brush, and then I'm going to get it wet. Because what I want to do is I want to try to take it and underline right there. So I'm going to zoom you guys in just a little bit more. So I'm gonna go back into the same brush that I used over on this side, and I'm gonna go into the shade What's the Tea, which is this blue shade right here. And first I'm going to just pack it on the sides of the brush, and we're mainly going to use this brush just to get right here. And then once we get out here, we're gonna go in with a fluffy brush. So now I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna tight line over here really quick, and then I'm gonna go off camera, do my face makeup, come back, and then do my under eyes. So all of my face makeup is done. Now we're just gonna go ahead and finish up on the eyes. So we're gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line. I already did mascara on the top, so all that's left to do is the lower lash line, the lower lash mascara, and lashes themselves. So for this side, I want to go in and I think I want to do, so I'm going to do the red. So I'm going to do Flaming Hot closest to my lash line, and I'm going to take Food Videos and blend it out right underneath. So let me go ahead and zoom you guys in. This brush right here. And I'm going to go into the shade Flaming Hot. And I'm going to stamp this right on the lower lash line. Now I'm going to go in with the Morphe M507, and I'm going into Food Videos, and we're just going to start to blend right underneath that. So now we're gonna go over to this side. Now for this side, I wanna do kind of the same thing, but I'm gonna go into Not a Fact and stamp that on my lower lash line, and then it's gonna be blended out with What's the Tea. I'm gonna take Ranch and put it on the inner corner of both eyes. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of it and put it on the upper brow bone as well. Alright, I'm gonna quickly go off camera and do my lower lash mascara and some lashes, and I'll be right back. These are gonna be the finished looks. I am so extremely happy with how these turned out. Let me give you guys a close-up so that you can see them a little bit better. Here's this side. I think both looks turned out amazing. The colors are so pigmented, they blend extremely well. I had absolutely no problem with it. There's no fallout with it. There's a little bit of kickback in the pans, absolutely not a problem. I think this palette was so perfectly executed. I think that the shades in here are absolutely stunning. I love the fact that you have a ton of shimmer shades to choose from, and I love the fact that there's like 3 different moods for each row, because you've got your neutrals, your colors, and then your like darker like wintry shades. And I think that it's just all in all a phenomenal palette. I would 100% recommend anybody to get this palette. I never had a bad experience with any Jeffree Star palettes, and I think that this one is just another one to add to the top of the list of phenomenal ones. I will continue to use this palette regularly. If you guys want to see more looks with this palette, if you want to see me do a look with the neutral shades, let me know. If there's specific colors in the palette that you want to see me play with, let me know. I honestly, like, I would literally play with this palette every single day. I think that it's so beautiful. Just like the amount, like the craziness as to how well everything blends and the pigmentation, like it looks phenomenal. I really want to thank you so much for watching this video. I have 3 new videos that I've been working on for the past week that are about to come, or not really the past week, for like 3 days that is about to come out. It's a kind of like a series of me organizing my entire makeup room. So you guys will see me like get rid of a bunch of stuff. I kept a bunch of stuff, obviously, and then just like how I went through and completely reorganized everything. So there's so much more space now. It looks a lot better than it did before, and I turned it into like a 3-part series because there was so much. I'm not even kidding when I say that. And obviously, like, I edited it enough to where it's not gonna be this long, but I spent about 3 hours on lipstick in itself. So there's a lot. But as usual, guys, my social media handles as well as any of my discount codes are going to be in the description box below. All of the products that I used today are also going to be down there. If you liked my video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel and turn your bell notifications on so you can see future videos by me. Don't forget, I am running a 2K, 1K giveaway over on my Twitter, and I am so very close to being at 2,000 and being at 1,000. I think I'm only about 320 away on Twitter, and I'm only like 60 away on Instagram. So don't forget to go enter that. I would love for some of you to be able to win some of these amazing products that I have for you. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video today, guys. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.